to hit record. Yay! Okay,
Yay!
so tonight we're going to be talking about Milton model. Milton model is actually the opposite of the meta model that we did last time. Meta, remember, gets really down into the details. There's Meta gets really down in the details, whereas Milton gets real high up and very ambiguous. If you remember when we did the hierarchies, the hierarchies of idea, we talked about Milton, we talked about meta. Meta, we always understand when we think about details and getting down and getting very specific to it, it brings us back to our girl, Virginia Satir. When we think about chunking up and being ambiguous with our language, which brings people to a hypnotic state, thinking not strange tonight, we're talking about hypnotic language. We think about Milton. In the pre-study, who can remember, is it the pre-study? Yes, in the pre-study, who can remember the story that was told about Milton, if you've made it that far?
I'm actually doing it now, so I haven't, yeah, that part. I haven't got to that part yet, but I'm doing that.
Hi,
so I want to do my exam.
What about you, girl?
Not there yet, no.
Okay, so I hate to ruin it for you guys, but you guys showed up, so you signed up for it tonight for me to ruin it for you guys, but still, you'll see what I'm talking about. All of a sudden in the pre-study, I believe it's in the pre-study. Yes, it's in the pre-study. You will hear the story about the man that's walking down the street and he sees this factory. I don't even know if it was a pillow factory. He goes into the pillow factory and he just lays down and he just takes a long nap. And after he gets done taking the long nap, he gets up and pretty much helps solve problems from there. So it's one of those things that you seem like you're all over the place, but you're going all over the place for a reason. Remember, when we're talking with our clients, we meet them where they are, and sometimes we need to pull them down, which is meta, to get more specific about a thing and understand and get to the root of a thing. But sometimes we have to chunk them up and bring them so far out of whatever that thing is. And we bring people up sometimes and get them out of the wherever their focus area is. Then we switch them over to maybe a lateral idea, and then we bring them back down. So by the time they come back down, they're not stuck in that same spot. They're not stuck in that same way of thinking. They've now gotten a new way of thinking, which why we study NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. And today we just happen to be in the linguistic part of it. And so we are on page, and I'm doing good. We are on page 106 in your manual. And this is where those are all of the different examples of hypno patterns and hypno language. And there are about 18 different ones of them. And so tonight, I will go over as many of these as I can in the time frame that I have. I'll give you an example on how we use these things and when we're talking to our clients, when we want to be ambiguous in our speak. And where this really comes into play is in our copy. When we are, yes, we may be life and success coaches, and we may be life and success coaches to women who are from the ages of 50 and above. So that's our target market. So we're very specific in who we target, who worked in a mid-management level position, and they are approaching retirement. And so these are very specifics. Well, there's a certain thing that whether if you're a woman over 50, there's something that's on your mind. And that's where that's why when you're talking to your client or you're setting up your sales page and you say, when you've made it to the age that you used to think was old, but now you know it's a new beginning. I didn't say what age, I didn't say whatever, but I was very ambiguous and very high chunked up where anybody that's listening to me, they're able to self-qualify. So I got their attention. And then once I've gotten their attention, that's then when you say, and so now I've chunked them up, got their attention. They're like, yeah, that's me. That's me. And now I take them further in getting where they understand that this is for them. And so I would say something along the lines of, and I'm going to turn to the page here. I know you thought it would be the end once you made it to this age of 50 plus. And so that's a mind read, because I'm saying something that I think they know, but for me knowing my demographic of people, we've talked to enough women 50 plus, that's something on our mind. And then moving down to loss performative. And you know what? It's something amazing and to really understand that once you get to this age, it may not be the end because it's not the end. And then, so basically, I said how wonderful it is. I basically gave a value on that judgment to say, hey, some people might say it's a bad thing. Some people might actually only believe that this is the end, but now I'm making it and turning it into something positive, something that's just a matter of fact. And so then I can say, because we have made it to this prime age of 50 plus, we get to take our experiences and make the next part of our great adventure even better. That's the cause and effect. Because we made it to this age, now we're able to do X, Y, Z. And so then the complex equivalence is, and because we have, after the age of 50, we've poured into so many people's lives, it's okay. That means it's okay for us now to start pouring back into our own lives like never before. And so again, I said, and that means because we've done this, that means this. And then getting into presuppositions, there's a whole page on presuppositions. I'll challenge you guys to go back and understand those. I'm not going to get into those tonight because there's a whole pre-study, there's a whole page and section that outlines those presuppositions, universal qualifiers, and every woman that makes it to 50 plus. Again, I made it to everybody. It's just a universal thing. And then the modal operators. Once you make it to age 50, you must have a conversation with yourself. And there I use the word must, or I can say you will have this conversation. I can use any of those woulda, coulda, shoulda. Basically, it's when you use a modal operator, it reminds you of something your parents would have told you when they're laying down the law of what you should and shouldn't do and you will do. It's like a commandment of those things. Now, keep in mind, we're talking about hypnotic language. And so you will use, this section is so important to understand is because when you get to the hypnosis section and you're getting to that section where you're filling in those embedded commands and that subjective language, that's exactly what this is. And so you're going to be pulling on this to fill in that section. All right, I'm going to give you guys a few more, and then I'm going to get into the example, and then you guys are going to get your chance. And each of you are going to get between 4 to 5 minutes to do this, but I'm going to demonstrate it first. So There's normalizations. Today, you will feel so powerful. And then feeling powerful, I'm not very specific, powerful about what exactly you're basically, I left it open and I used a word that's so ambiguous. When I said today, you're going to feel so powerful, the picture that Shamika had in mind is not the same picture that Andrea had in mind. But again, if I would have said something about, oh, you're going to feel so powerful about being the woman over 50 that right now is having this life change. Like I got so specific with it. We're not doing Virginia Chintier today. We're keeping it up in the air where anybody and everybody can catch at it. Y'all know I get excited about this stuff, so I'm gonna try to pipe down, but it's just that
girl. I love the energy. Continue what you do. I love the energy. I'm understanding everything. I'm loving it.
So here's the thing. Using the unspecified verbs, unspecified predicates, if I can get that word out, is, and you're not saying she, you're not saying her, you're just saying, you know, a matter of fact. And once you make it there, and it's like, make it where. But if I'm talking about life-changing events and I say, and once you make it there, once again, you get to fill out where making it there, what it means to you. And so that's where that I didn't specify that the verb or whatever. So tag question is, you are going to take the most meticulous, copious set of notes, aren't you? That's a tag. So after I say the statement, I qualify it by a matter of fact, aren't you, or a question, aren't you? Isn't that right? Correct? You'll notice a lot of people when they are speaking on stages, and to get their audience buy-in, they be like, you know what I mean, right? That's that tag question. So now I feel like you're really having a conversation with me, and and because you want me to agree with you, I'm agreeing with you. Another one, I'm going to skip down to number 14 because it's a really good one. Those double blinds is when you get to the 4th of July parade, you are going to be dressed in your best 4th of July outfit. Are you going to be, is your best 4th of July outfit going to be red, or would you rather it be blue? So in that sentence, you're going to have a 4th of July outfit, right? That's the command. And then you don't feel as if it's a command because now I've offered you options. I use this with my grandbaby all the time. It's before you go to bed, do you want to brush your teeth first or watch 15 minutes of a movie? Because again, these two things you get to pick, but you going to bed. So that's how that works out. And let's see here. Are there any more? This is one that I really love, is the ambiguous part of it. And there is a few different ways to do that. The most fun and I do this all the time with clients. I don't know if they've ever picked up on it, but I use run-on sentences and I just keep going and going and going. And in those run-on sentences, it could land anywhere. Sometimes I don't even know where it's going to land, but it's enough to break them out of whatever it is and really get them into a transy mood, because they're trying to follow, like, okay, where is she going with this? Is she going somewhere with this? Because they've been on the call with me enough times to know that typically when I'm saying something, I'm taking it somewhere. So I would suggest you pick a few of these, the ones that you understand the most. And tonight, you're going to take 3 to 4 minutes to go over just that. And what you're going to do is you're going to just pick a topic and then just start having a conversation about it. And so tonight, I'm going to use the example of happiness. And I'm going to say, with happiness, I sense you are really happy. You just haven't figured out how to get to happiness yet. You never feel happy, I'm sure. But if you do feel happy, you're in this most fabulous mood. And when it comes to happiness, you know that you're able to like make better decisions. And the greater you make decisions, the better your decisions get. And then you get even more happy. And then after that, you think about how great you are at making decisions, and then you get happier, right? Do you know that making decisions is almost automatic to your happiness? Because even when you get to the point where something bad happens, you wonder, how long is this bad going to happen? But you can't wait for exactly when will the happiness start again, because you know it's going to happen again, right? You just, it's automatic. There's no other way that this can happen. Like, you might tell yourself like, oh, well, happiness is for rich people. And how can anyone else outside of rich people find this happiness? Or when will your happiness roll around again? Or you just study asking yourself this question about how can you find happiness? Is there a better way? So you specifically think to yourself like, oh my goodness, I can't wait for my happiness to come. And then the smile hits your face. And you are all day long just smiling about this happiness. And how does it feel just to be happy? What does it mean to you? You think like, is this a trick question? But how just very quickly can this happen? How quickly can not only this smile come on your face, but how quickly can I get to my happy place? Like, who says it's impossible to find happiness? I didn't say that. Did you say that? I think you might have been thinking it. I hope you weren't thinking it, but are you happy enough? Is there such thing as being happy enough? Is it a question of, can you be happy for 5 days, or can you be happy for 15 days? Or how about 5 years to 15 years? Like, does it make sense that if you're going to really embody this happiness, that it takes place from a time that if I can get 5 days, then that means I can get 15 years? Like, is there a correlation between those? Do you think? Do you agree? I think you agree. And I thank you for agreeing, because as you're searching for happiness, I'm going to search for happiness, because all things, of everything and everybody deserves happiness. You deserve happiness. I deserve happiness. Don't we? Don't we deserve happiness? Like, when you think about happiness, what are you thinking? Do you ever stop and just wonder, when is my next happy moment? You probably don't do that, right? Or do you do that? Or don't you do it? Or is it something that we shouldn't do, or that we don't do often enough? I'm not really sure. Are you sure? Because I question my happiness sometimes. Sometimes I'm just so happy and I have the smile on my face, and all I know is right here, right now, I would love for you to join me in my happiness. Won't you?
That was great. I love that. That was amazing.
A moment, I start sounding like a crazy person.
Yeah, I was like, where are we going?
And then you get into the hypnotic rhythm with me, right? And now you just want to hear more, and like, yes, and you're buying in on the happiness, and I'm talking in a happy tone, and baby, it gets good. So go ahead, y'all, and lay the goodness on me. I'm going to start it. Who's going first?
So do we have
Don't
to
overthink this. Don't overthink. You already talked.
No.
You already talk constantly. And so now it's, are you mind reading? Are you putting a now? Are you asking a question in the end? Are you giving them options? This or that? Are you using numbers? Are you using them how many times? Like, don't overthink it, but go ahead and ask your question.
Oh, yes. So are we going to only be speaking? So we're just speaking like that. There's no script. We're just talking.
Correct.
Okay.
And
so
and in here, you're not to use your manual. You just talk from the dome.
Okay.
But you see,
okay.
my topic was happiness. I talked about smiles in there. I talked about feeling. I mean, I just went over the whole gamut. I talked about when you deserve it. I talked about how many years. I talked about how, I mean, it's just however it goes. It's I used some run-on sentences. Sometimes I took breaths. Sometimes I didn't even finish a sentence. And sometimes I repeated sentences that weren't even complete over and over again, right after each other. And now you're going to do the same.
Andre.
Yeah, I'm going to go first. I said,
Perfect.
Let me just get it out of the way. Can you guys hear me well? There's no glitches. I'm loud enough. I'm click on my headphone. Okay, perfect.
Correct.
Okay, great. Okay, so the topic that I was brainstorming on was influential. Is that okay?
Yes.
Is that a good?
And you're going to look directly into the camera because you're not looking into your book.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Lay it on.
Gosh. Okay. So I'm just talking. Like I'm just gonna.
You're talking, but you be conscious
the language.
Of the language. Yes.
Okay. So I have to try to remember what language I'm going to be using. So I'm just gonna dive in. However it comes out, but I guess my subconscious mind would allow it to come out the right way. Okay. So am I speaking to both of you guys, or just do I have to address a name?
It doesn't even matter. Just speak directly into the camera.
Okay. I feel that you're so. I feel that. No, sorry. I'm sorry, Robert.
Okay, hold on 1 second, because I got a timer. Go for it.
Okay.
Go.
I know that you believe that you're influential, but because of the responses that you don't get, you don't feel that you are influential. I also believe that you perhaps feel that there's things that you say that people may not understand, right? And maybe by feeling that way will draw you, no, by feeling that way will make you feel like you're not being influential. But I believe a lot of people look up to you. Don't you feel that as well? I feel that people tend to gravitate towards your energy because you have so much to offer. You have so much information to give that would help other people. So I feel that when you believe in yourself and believe that you are influential, you must be that way. You must act that way. You must show that to the world, because you are so amazing at what you do, and people deserve to hear from you. You have so much information that a lot of people has not gotten in so many years. And I believe that if you really put yourself to the challenge, you will be amazing. Don't you feel that as well? Don't you believe that if you really put your mind to it, that you can really feel influential? I think that you're feeling that you are influential, but because of the reaction that you get from others, it steers you away from feeling that way. But I would say, don't worry about what other people are saying or feeling because of their non-response, but just go with your gut feeling and how the information that you give off, the information that you give off will show how influential you are, because you have so much experience. You have so much life experience. And I believe that you can be great at everything that you do, and you deserve to be heard. You deserve to be heard, and your voice needs to be heard. So what will you do? How would you change the way that you show up now as being influential? I think that you should be more intentional about how you're influential. Don't you think? Did
And
I
you good.
pass
I'm
the
gonna stop you
time?
right there. You have 5 more
Okay.
seconds. But so great. So there was a point where I used the word don't inside mine, but I didn't use it a lot because we learned that the subconscious mind doesn't register the negatives. And
Yes.
so when you say don't, I forget what you said, but it was what my
Like, don't worry
subconscious,
about what other people are saying. I think I was saying
that's
that
what
don't
it
worry.
was.
Yes.
And so basically my mind, I instantly went to worry about what the people were saying.
Yes. 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 I realized that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So another way
Yeah.
is you can say, and when you're worried about what the people are saying, you can either choose to ignore it, or would you like to have it fuel your fire?
Okay.
See where that
Okay.
goes? Like, okay, so
Yes. Yes.
and keep in mind, you don't want to use the I feel, it's you, because you're using this in hypnotic language. So it's not about what you think or what about you feel. It's about what they think and what they feel. And you're telling them what they think.
Okay. So
and what
instead
they
of,
feel.
okay, so I was using I, but I should have been using you. You
Yes.
feel that,
Correct.
okay. You feel that you're not influential by the response that you get. You feel that, okay.
All right. I'm going to set my timer. You have any questions before you start?
I don't think so.
Were you able to pick up when she was doing different things, like what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. I got my eye on you. And
Okay.
the timer is starting now, and go for it.
So the topic I'm gonna choose is consistency. What is it that you desire from consistency? What does consistency mean to you? Do you feel that when you are consistent, you are actually getting things done? Do you, okay, what life do you desire from consistency? When you are consistent, you are getting things done, you are crossing things off your list. Would you say that being consistent is important in having an organized life? When you feel like you are being consistent, would you say that your mood is improved? Or would you say that you are motivational in the sense that you want to get things done? How is it that you can show up for yourself when you're trying to be consistent and get the things done without feeling as though you are drained or feeling as though you might not want to do it? When you are in this mood of or feeling as though you don't want to get things done, how would you say that you can improve your mental state and improve the way that you look at the task at hand? Would you say that it is important to take small steps towards the goals that you want in order to progress towards being a consistent person? Okay, I'm stuck. I think that's it. I'm stuck.
Okay. So again, you had the topic. Maybe instead of going back to consistent, maybe you talk about those step-by-step goals. You go
Okay.
into a few of those, and then you come back out of it to then. But I'll go ahead and I'll stop you there. That's fine, because I do have a hard stop. I'll say this is great with the wonder and leaving them, but less with, my challenge to you is less with the questioning and
Okay.
more with the commands, because you
Okay.
really did it there where you said something about, yes, when you're going to be more consistent, you won't have to worry about that was the cause and the effect.
Okay.
But what I love, and I don't even know if you know you did it, your subconscious mind knows, is you made something that would be normally be a negative outcome. You basically turned it into why they would want to make the positive change. And so when you're talking to one of your clients, if they say, yes, I know if I'm going to be consistent, it's going to bring me X and it's going to bring me Y. And when you're talking to them, you repeat that back like, yes, and you want to be consistent so you don't have to worry about X and Y.
Okay.
So now you're putting that in their subconscious, you're using their own language to feed their subconscious mind on why they're going to be consistent, because what they're going to avoid.
Okay.
All right, ladies, that's it.
So overall, ChaVonne, we have the concept, even though we didn't do it, we have the concept. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You have the concept.
So now
But you guys heard what I did, and you know how powerful it is. So you guys are going to go back, you're going to look at those presuppositions, and you're going to go back and look at this to understand the hypnotic language, because you know it's going to come back to you again. So if you don't get it, or if you don't look at it again anymore from today, when you get into your hypnosis, you're going to be struggling. But you should be using this in your everyday language now. Shouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see what I just did there?
Yes, I did. Yes. You came for us. You came for us.
Yes.
You came for us.
and I do. That's why I was able off the cuff just to go over on. I could do this for hours and hours and hours.
But I love it though. I love it. It's just to master
Shanika,
it,
you
right?
caught up
But
on
yeah.
that, right? Girl, yes, hours, like for real. Just like the song says, I'm just saying. But I want you guys to be able to do the same. Shanika, when you at work, you should be using, when somebody is stuck in a rut, you need to be pulling out your hypnotic language, bringing them on up, and they're gonna be like, well, what was I thought I was upset, but I don't even remember what is this girl talking about? They're gonna forget all about all that, and they're gonna be down there like, is she okay? Like, talking to Shanika, she was talking about the whatever. And then Andrea, I want you, when them kids get somewhere,
yes.
You gonna pull them on back and be like, you're gonna be talking to your kids in a different way. Instead of you fussing and complaining, you about to bring out your hypnotic language so that you can get them on the track and them doing what you need them to do.
Yes.
And they're gonna feel good about it.
Yes.
So that was it. Thank y'all for attending I thought I was gonna be on a TED Talk for tonight. I'm gonna head on to my next training, and you guys, if you have any questions, put them into the group and we'll make sure they get answered. But it's been fun.
Thank you.
Yes, it was fun. Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
And bye, Shamika. It's nice seeing you after so long. Bye.